You know, one of the biggest issues with alcohol use disorder is that people don't have the balls or the courage to talk about the issue. So, when I go over in great detail my experience, if you don't follow me, this may not make sense, but I talk in great detail about experiences with my wife and, bodily fluids and, some of the horror stories that you can find on my thread. And I go in great detail with the specific purpose of making people and families and people who are going through this understand that they need to take action. The alcoholic needs to take action, and the family has to have the guts to participate in their alcoholic, in their family's life. In other words, they need to set boundaries, they need to assist. There's tough love and there's also empathy, and you need to educate yourself on both of those. So let's continue this conversation a little bit further. And you have to realize that traditionally, no one wants to talk about alcoholism or alcohol use disorder. That's just, you have a drunk in your family, and everybody doesn't, nobody wants to bring that to attention. No one wants to open the can of worms. Nobody wants to talk about it. They just deal with it. If they have a drunk uncle or a drunk son or a drunk father or a drunk mother, nobody wants to talk about it. And this only adds to the problem. It only permeates the issue, and it feeds the addiction. Because if nobody gets in harm's way, if nobody talks about it, if nobody exposes it for what it is, then it's only going to manifest. It's a progressive disease, so it's only going to get worse. If the alcoholic doesn't understand that, and family members are not supportive, or they're not even a participant in that person's life, and they could be a loved one, but they don't know what to do and where to go and how to approach it. Well, this is why we need to talk about it. This is why it needs to be exposed. This is why it needs to be yelled from the rooftops. And on a personal note, I don't really relish, having to sit here and talk about the experiences that I had with my wife. That's past history for me. But if I'm going to draw them out, if I'm going to bring these stories to fruition, it's there to help people. It's there for people to identify it. It's also for people to understand what they're looking forward to if they continue down the path of their alcoholic career. It also makes families aware of what they need to do and what actions they need to take. This is paramount in solving the riddle and the issue and the web of alcoholism. If you don't understand that, if you haven't had these experiences, then I salute you. Keep scrolling, because you don't understand. And if you don't understand, that's fine. That means you haven't had the experience. It's also important as a family member to reel in your reactionary emotions, to understand that the alcoholic in your family essentially is mentally disabled. They have a disability, a mental and essentially a physical disability as well. If it gets into Wernicke-Korsakoff and affects their brain, it affects their heart, their lungs, their liver, their pancreas, their esophagus, their eyes, and their skin. I mean, it is a real world issue. So family members have to understand when the alcoholic in their family does crazy, outlandish, upsetting, just insane things, is you have to put that in perspective and understand that the disease has taken hold with your loved one, and it's nothing personal. The disease also has nothing to do with you as a family member. And you have to act accordingly and understand that. Don't feel the guilt and the shame, because essentially it has nothing to do with you at the end of the day. And again, if these types of situations resonate with you, you have an alcoholic in the family, or an alcoholic yourself. I've helped thousands of alcoholics. I have a coaching program called There's an Alcoholic in the Family. If you would click on the link above, the link tree, set up a calendar call. The call is free. The course certainly is not, but one-on-one, I've helped many, many people. And again, please like, share, and comment. We also have a Facebook group called Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism, which is becoming a very good support group. We talk about alcoholism and everything, all the issues attached to it. And again, thanks for listening.